Yeehaw! Howdy do, partner. Everyone back to the base, partner. All right. So, starting off the trowel of slop, garbage, awful builds that I want to post. I've had these rattling around in my brain for a while, and they're all terrible. I wouldn't bring any of them into Havoc. We're going to start here with the Cowboy. If you make fun of the hat, you get shot in the back. All right, so this is a build for no one. This is a build for me. This is a build for HOG WRASTLERS. This is a build for when you gotta chase down Indians at 8 p.m. and cattle rustlers at 9 p.m. and then fight off the hogs at 12 p.m., all right? That's who this build is for. So, we've got the tomahawk that we have rightfully taken from the natives. We've got the 6-shooter that puts in so much work. This does so much work for this build. This curio, that curio, and that other curio that are all the same curio. Now, I promise you, these builds are terrible, but they all function, and there is nothing in the game. There's no situation where you feel like, damn, I really can't do anything. Out for blood because it's just better than the other two. Tactical reload because the revolver really needs help. So you have options here. You can take the dynamite. You can take the concentrated dynamite. And you can take Indian smoke signals. Now, really, take whatever the fuck you think you're going to need for whatever the fuck you're going to queue into. If you do decide to be brave enough to play this build. This shit, though, you don't necessarily need these two, and I'll talk about why, but everything else in this row is kind of garbage. This is the only aura worth taking on veteran ever. You don't necessarily have the points for these. Hold on, wait, I spoiled it. Sorry. All right, so listen. Deadeye. Every good cowboy needs Deadeye. When you're on the horse and you're yeehawing, you need to be able to pop Deadeye. Does it help the build in, like, any way? No. Not really. But we're here to fit a theme. Now, in the words of George Lucas, I may have gone too far in a few places. Now, okay, hear me, listen, I hear the audience gasping. I hear the audience outraged. I hear the audience offended. I hear you. But listen to me. A real cowboy, a real Red Dead Redemption 2 detailed horse balls enjoyer is going to be able to activate his Deadeye and notice how this ability actually does, in fact, tick down while it's active. Which means you don't actually need tactical awareness to have, like, a theoretical 100% uptime with this ability. Now, this is awful. See? And then you just re-pop it, and it's still active. Now, this is awful. You could get rid of this, or this to take this, and it would automatically make the build better. But a real cowboy, yeah, a real rootin' tootin' cattle rustling, beer drinking, gun shooting, Deadeye abusing motherfucker doesn't need this. If you are the god of all gods, if you are the true outlaw, if you are the true Mr. Marston, you will keep Deadeye active pretty much always without this. Should you take this? Yes, absolutely. But not in this build. This is a real outlaws only kind of build, okay? Real cattle rustling, hog wranglers only kind of build. Deadshot is usually fucking terrible. But if you take Deadshot and you take Tunnel Vision, you can sorta, kinda, maybe on these slow firing weapons, sorta keep up some you know, amount of stamina. It's not good, but this is a shitload of crit. You can see, you get a lot of crit with this. Now, I guess I should probably explain the weapons, because I completely brushed past this. Now, I'll finish explaining the talents. Fuck it. Make a mistake live in an unscripted video. Like, be a real YouTuber and double down anyways. This shit sucks. You could use this, but it sucks. Real Deadeye. This post was certified by real Deadeye Chads. Will activate Killzone. This stuff is cool, I guess, but we don't give a fuck. We're only using this for this. This is also pretty terrible, but real sharpshooters. You know, this post was fact-checked by real Indian scalping patriots, which is a real Judge Holden's only. Oh my god, I just fucking got flashbanged. Real Judge Holden's only. This is an awful fucking build. I can't post this shit. Anyway, demo team for more dynamite sticks. I like to imagine this is bribing the U.S. Army to blow up the native people that have literally done nothing wrong. You just walk up with the, you know, I need to put in the gif from Blood, the game Blood, where he like throws the dynamite. That's what I like to imagine that is. Anyway, reciprocity, because you actually need to take a few good nodes for a build to function. So this actually applies to the revolver. So if you look, you get a lot of crit with this build. Like, a lot. And with just a few dodges of reciprocity. So the idea here is that hopefully when you're tomahawking people to death, you will, you know, build up some crit like this. And once you've built up some crit from dodging around with reciprocity, you'll pull this out and you'll be nearing like 100% crit chance. Because with like 100, with guaranteed crits, you can do that. You can start just, with Deadeye and guaranteed crits, you can like start body shotting shit, like out of nowhere. It's honestly kind of powerful. I'm not gonna lie to you, okay? Desperado for the exact same reason. You just want crit and damage. Agile engagement to encourage you to get reciprocity and to make the tactical axe better. Toughness boost because you're gonna need toughness with this. Skirmisher can be, you know, should probably go here. But, you know, we're cowboy. We're mobile. We're giddy up, partner. We're running on the horse. We're shooting down people for no reason. You know? Okay, now why are the weapons set up in such a retarded way, I hear you ask? Well, you see, my based darling Chads. The tactical axe, you could replace relentless strikes for momentum. But that is for gay lawmen only. Gay lawmen take brutal momentum. Real Chads take relentless strikes so they can kill a crusher in, you know, some amount of time. Now, as you can see, the bleed really doesn't do much, but it's mostly for when you need to melee down a boss or something. Now, the horde clear on the tactical axe is honestly not great, but it's also not bad. If you are hitting headshots and getting crits with reciprocity, you get to like a 50+% crit chance, and you start one-shotting the horde one at a time, which it's not the worst thing. It truly could be worse, but that's also why you have the dynamite sticks. You know, for when they're gonna get away with your fucking cattle, you throw the fucking dynamite stick at them. And then, you know, while you're in the middle of tomahawking things to death, you just, like, whip out the Deadeye with the enhanced damage, and there you go. Now, I hear you asking, oh yeah, the revolver. Sustained fire is what I found to just kind of be the best. Really, you don't need to take it. I guess you could take hand cannon, but why the fuck are you shooting armor with this thing? Crush and roulette just kind of works the best because you can't really surgical with this one. Maniacs to consistently one-shot specialists in flak armor to 100% consistently one-shot the gunners, the lawmen. And, yeah, that's actually most of the build. Okay, so why does this build sorta, kind of function? Well, believe it or not, 1600 DPS killing a crusher. And depending on crits, I have had this. When I have reciprocity all stacked up, and I've got, like, all my damage buffs going, I've actually gotten to kill a crusher at most 2100 DPS, which is like a 2.5 second kill. Because, you know, when you've got 50% crit chance versus 20, armor tends to die faster, which is not terrible. This is okay at killing hordes, and it's really mobile, so it's really hard to get trapped with this weapon. Overall, the tac axe is like an A-tier weapon. It's really fucking good. The revolver's also pretty good. So, you have the grenades for horde clear if you need them and decide to take them. The tac axe is like B tier for horde clear specifically. It's like okay, it's serviceable. The tac axe is pretty okay at dealing with armor. It's, you know, it's only slightly worse than the RBD shock maul, which usually kills these in about 2100 to 2500 DPS. So, you know, when you've got your buffs stacked up here, this can compete with that. And that weapon's pretty good at dealing with them, so this is alright at dealing with them. And the revolver's great at dealing with gunners. It's great at dealing with specialists. And let me just get a boss. Let me just get a boss real quick. Let me just get a boss. Okay, whatever. I guess you'll do. Let me stack up the thingy. So if you'll indulge me for a second. You do okay boss damage. I mean, you can see that if you have to fight a boss like this, it takes like 4-ish magazines to bring down a boss. That's not a lot, you know? When the lawmen send their best at you, you actually have, you know. So, yeah, this build is capable of killing armor. It's capable of killing hordes. It's pretty decent at sniping specialists and gunners. And it's okay at boss damage. So it is a functional build that can do everything at an acceptable level. And it fits a theme. This doesn't look like a cowboy at all. Alright, I promise you I will be posting even worse builds to follow this one up.